sort of thing happens. And we're talking about an artist that I think a lot of us paid attention to. Um, an artist that I don't know. I always found that Irene Cara put a smile on my face whenever I saw her. Not only the fact that I was madly in love with her, but Irene Cara has passed away at the age of 63. John Beaudin, Rock History Music. Her name was Irene, her birth name, Irene Cara Escalara. Of course, we know her. She sang Flashdance, What a Feeling, which is the song she co-wrote. She won an Academy Award, Best Original Song, and a Grammy for Best Female Pop Vocal Performance. Now, in '94, she was best known to playing Coco Hernandez in the song before from '84. Coco Hernandez in Fame in 1980. She's from the Bronx. She's the youngest of 5 children. Her father was Gaspar Escalara. He was a factory worker. And her mom, Louise, was a theater usher. And they knew they had some talent with this girl. Remember Flashdance? That's brings us back, doesn't it? It's interesting, when she was writing Flashdance, she was on the way to the studio to record the song, and she wrote the lyrics for Flashdance. Giorgio Moroder was the man behind the controls, and he was the guy behind the controls for Donna Summer. She didn't want to be compared to Donna Summer because of the heavily sexualized "I Love to Love You, Baby" and stuff like that. And I remember they were going to do a show on her. By the way, no cause of death. We don't know yet. They were going to do a show on her, either called Irene or Cara. I think I might have it here. She was on Electric Company. Remember that? Way before. When she was like in her early teens, she made appearances on The Tonight Show. So she was always destined for that. A lot of Broadway, off-Broadway stuff. I mean, she went into the perils of rock and roll like anybody else in that kind of situation. But I don't know. There's my Flashdance. Let me see what else I have here. Look at that. What a beautiful, beautiful young lady she was. Now, this is what her publicist has released. That was as of this morning. This is the absolute worst part of being a publicist. I can't believe I've had to write this, let alone release the news. Please share your thoughts and memories of Irene. I'll be reading each and every one of them. Excuse me. She'll be smiling in heaven. She adored her fans. JM. Here's the statement. It is with profound sadness that on behalf of her family, I announce the passing of Irene Cara, the Academy Award-winning actress, singer, songwriter, and producer, passed away in her Florida home. Her cause of death is currently unknown and will be released when information is available. Irene's family has requested privacy as they process their grief. She was a beautiful, gifted soul whose legacy will live forever in her music and films. Funeral services are pending, and a memorial for her fans will be planned in the future. Judith A. Moss, President, JM Media Group, publicist for Irene Cara. Let me just see if I can get back on screen here. It's always a, there we go. There we go. So, waking up to this, kind of surprising. My first gig in radio, that's why I have a warm spot for Irene Cara. My first audition to get my first radio gig in a major market. I started in major market. I was lucky, but I didn't think I belonged there. And my future boss basically said, "I'm going to give you a shot. Go to Flashdance, the opening of Flashdance, the grand premiere, which our radio station was presenting, 96 K-Light. I wasn't there yet, but I was auditioning, like I said. And he said, watch the film. At the end of the film, grab a tape recorder and ask people as they're leaving the theater what they thought of the movie. And I'll see how you do." So I thought, no problem. I'll give it a shot. All the way through Flashdance, I was like sweating in my boots, man. I was so nervous knowing I was going to have to do this at the end of the film. I was going through my mind what I was going to ask. And then for whatever reason, I must have done okay. I'm sure I didn't, because he gave me the job as an all-night guy. And it all started with Flashdance and that song that Irene Cara co-wrote on the way. She co-wrote it on the way to the studio. That is crazy. She came up with the words. They were driving in the car. And what a legacy it was. And I always thought that I always had a warm spot for her because of that. And there's an album. Hold on, let me find this here on my. Here it is. I can't see where it is. Unfortunately, I had to come on here really, really quickly, and of course, just like you, absorb this information and this news. George Price, death either really needs to take a vacation or give us George Harrison and Glenn Fry. Well said. Thank you for that. A Winslow, a Red Cross. I remember when Fame was big, it was everywhere, and she, of course, was in the movie. Co-wrote Flashdance, What a Feeling, won an Academy Award for Best Original Song and a Grammy Award for Best Female Pop Vocal Performance. That was 84. But of course, she played Coco Hernandez in the 1980 film of Fame. And of course, she sang the song, I Want to Live Forever. How poignant is that today, right? Born in the Bronx, as I mentioned a while ago, she was the youngest of 5 children. Her father, Gaspar Escalara. She was Irene Escalara. And her mother was a theater usher. Her mother name was Louise. And like I said a while ago, she appeared like on the Tonight Show when she was in her early teens, or probably it'd be preteens. In 71, 72, was in the Electric Factory. Remember that show? And she performed on a Duke Ellington tribute concert where she was surrounded by great stars like Stevie Wonder, Sammy Davis Jr., Roberta Flack. I mean, you got to have the talent, I always say, to get into the room, right? You gotta be that person to be able to get in that room. And Irene Cara certainly had that. I mean, she looked like a movie star, and what a voice. And the fact that she wrote the words to a Flashdance, What a Feeling, on the way to the recording studio to record that song. And as I mentioned, I keep saying this because I'm having to reiterate everything. She wasn't sure about working with Giorgio Moroder, the man behind the controls, because he was also behind the controls for Donna Summer. And Donna Summer had an image back then, and she didn't necessarily want that. Yao Yo, I don't know how to say that. So sad, rest in peace. Ronnie Parker, another 80s icon leaving. Rest in peace. Jeff Hansen, rest in peace, gone too soon. Witchy Woman, rest in peace, heartbreaking Winslow. He said it again. Rest in peace, Guitar Anthony. She made it to heaven and lit it up like a flame. Rest in peace, Irene. Well said. That was very nice. So, yeah, a little piece of, there's this thing that's a little piece of the 80s gone, a little piece of of all of us. But when look at her. Remember this picture? Everyone knows that picture of Irene Cara. We always think that somehow we're all going to live forever. Hence the song, right? Oh, hold on. Let me get back to that. Oh, I have to. There's always software problems with these things. You always have these. Let me see if oh, there she is. Fame. There's Flashdance. Of course, that's not her. May she rest in peace. Let me read a few. It's always weird waking up to this sort of thing, right? I always feel that. Anyway, thanks everyone for coming on board. If you have did anybody meet her? How about that? Anybody out there that actually met Irene Cara? I remember there was someone from the radio station. I'm not sure, it doesn't matter who it was, but someone was supposed to have an interview with her at the radio station and it was canceled at the last minute. And I can't remember who it was, but anyway, I remember the guy was really, 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 really bummed because he was in love with her too. She just had a certain joie de vivre about her, right? And the fact that she was in the industry and her mother was a theater usher and she was the youngest of 5 children. And let me just get back to my notes here. Irene Cara Escalara. She was born March 18th, 1959, and she just passed away November 25th. May she rest in peace. She was young, and I know, but here's the thing: I'm 62. So when someone, she was like a year older than me. She was a year and a month older than me. May she rest in peace. Thank you, everyone, for coming on board. I appreciate it. Remember, support the channel. There are links in the description. Irene Cara, may you rest in peace. Gave us a lot. Take care. John Beaudin, Rock History and Music.